When you hear the term found footage, what film or series do you think of? Blair Witch Project? Paranormal Activity? Maybe even Grave Encounters? When I hear found footage, the first thing that comes to my mind is VHS. VHS is a found footage horror film that was released in 2012 that featured early directorial efforts of many now established Hollywood directors, such as Adam Wingard, who did The Guest and Godzilla vs. Kong, Ty West, who did X and Pearl, Radio Silence, who directed Ready or Not and Scream 5 and 6, and even David Bruckner, who did The Night House and the Hellraiser reboot. I'm a little biased because I grew up watching this film, but I think it offers a wonderfully creepy atmosphere with great acting that really makes me believe what I'm seeing. It also has great digital effects, great practical effects, awful, disturbing gore, and very creepy imagery. The film's narrative isn't in a typical layout. Each director helms a different short film contained on individual VHS tapes, with a wraparound segment tying it all together. In this video, I'll be going in depth on the plot of the film, and then talking about which tapes are my favorite, and my least favorite. So grab some popcorn, turn off the lights, and let's discuss the horror masterpiece that is VHS. Right off the bat, the film lets you know that the characters you will be following are not good people. They're a group of nameless criminals who spend their time vandalizing buildings, sexually assaulting random women in public, which is very hard to watch, and committing acts of theft, which eventually leads them to a job offer telling them to break into an old man's house and steal a very specific VHS tape.
Okay, here's the deal. We gotta break into this house, and all we have to do is steal this one VHS tape.
So, of course, they immediately head to this man's house to rob him. At first, they stumble through the dark house, searching room to room, being as stealthy as they can, as the sound of static interference moves closer and closer, until eventually, they open a door and see an old man dead in his armchair, sitting in front of countless working televisions. While the other criminals move along to search the rest of the house, one man stays behind with the corpse to watch a peculiar tape left in the VCR. I think a good way to set up this video without getting too much into spoilers will be for me to give a broad overview of the beginning of the plot and the characters, and then leave it to y'all to watch it yourselves while revealing what I like about the shorts and what works for me in them, without giving away too much of the plot details or the endings. I had originally planned to go in depth on each one of the tapes and tell you everything about them in crucial, minute detail, and I realized that probably wouldn't be that entertaining, and it would also spoil everything about this if you wanted to watch this for the first time. So I'm going back to the drawing board, and I'm just going to give a broad analysis of each story. This tape opens with three friends, Shane, Patrick, and Clint, the main character, testing out their new camera, which is hidden in the bridge of a pair of trick glasses. They plan on going out to the bars that night to meet women, and hopefully bring them back to the room to film a discreet porno. They go out, they're having fun, bar hopping, partying, and dancing, when Clint meets a mysterious woman named Lily, who seems shy and only seems to repeat the words, "I like you." This first tape really executes its idea well, having a camera built into the glasses. There's no argument, why is he still recording as all of this is happening, because of course it's in his glasses as he's watching everything unfold. We're seeing it exactly from his point of view. This tape is very, very creepy and has a horrifying atmosphere as you slowly realize everything is going to go wrong really quick. There's little subtle hints of things going wrong, like characters having scales or horned feet. I won't reveal who. It's basically a modern depiction of the classic tale of a seductive siren or a succubus just kind of adapted into a modern pornographic lens. And I think it's great. Back in the wraparound story, another criminal discovers that the Watcher is now missing. The others find hundreds of unmarked VHS tapes in the basement and collect them all to make sure they get the right one. One catches a glimpse of a strange figure wandering off. The new Watcher puts another tape in the VCR and begins to watch it. In the second tape, a married couple named Sam and Stephanie travel to Arizona for their honeymoon, which is constantly filmed by Stephanie.
You don't want to get a sunburn?
No, I don't want to get a sunburn.
That night, they visit a Wild West-themed attraction known as Wild West Junction, where Stephanie receives a prediction from a mechanical fortune teller.
And it must be your lucky day, 'cause I have some words of wisdom just for you. Listen up now, here.
A new turn of events will soon come about. A happy reunion with a loved one will make life all that you ever wanted it or dreamed it to be.
And that she is very trusting and is easily taken advantage of. Sometime later, a strange woman comes to Sam and Stephanie's motel room and awkwardly tries to convince Sam to give her a ride the next day. Sam declines her requests, and the girl leaves. In the middle of the night, while the couple are asleep, a mysterious figure breaks into the room, turns on the camcorder, and films itself stroking Stephanie's butt with a switchblade. The intruder also steals $100 from Sam's wallet and dips his toothbrush in the toilet. As you do. I do think this is more of a slow burn tape, to be honest. It basically shows the slow decline of a married couple as they go throughout this trip. You can see their insecurities and their arguments with each other, and as they slowly start to build and build, it seems like they don't really know each other, which turns out to be the case if you finish this tape. It's definitely a lot slower than some of the other tapes, and I will say that the foreshadowing with the fortune teller is actually very nice and thematically important in this tape. Back in the wraparound, the Watcher is confused by what he's just witnessed. He fails to notice that the corpse has disappeared from behind him on the chair. In the basement, the others consider making copies of the special tape
But I'll tell you this, we're gonna make tapes.
Yeah.
Copies of the tapes.
so that they can make extra money. The Watcher begins the next tape.
Can you not put that so close to my face? It's so annoying.
In this tape, 4 friends, Joey, Spider, Samantha, and Wendy, travel with Wendy to her annual trip to a lake in the nearby forest. Wendy, of course, leads the way, mentioning quote-unquote accidents that took her friends' lives. When Joey's digital camera pans certain empty areas, glitched images of mutilated bodies appear in the captured footage. After they discover a mutilated pig, Wendy declares that everyone will die.
You're all gonna fucking die up here.
The highlights of this tape are definitely the villain. He is never seen fully on camera. He always shows up as static with a red face, only barely identifiable. There's some good kills, some good gore in this. I will say I think the acting is pretty weak, and the plot is very bare bones thin. Not a lot happens in this one. But I do think it does have some enjoyable elements, especially in the second half of the tape after things start to pick up a little bit. But as usual, I think they're all pretty much worth a watch. So yeah. Once again in the wraparound, the corpse has now returned to the room, but the viewer is nowhere to be seen. The remaining criminals are confused as to where the others have gone, as there are now only 2 left.
Fuck did they go?
One criminal tells the other to look through the tapes, to which he complies.
Hey.
Hi.
In the next tape, a girl named Emily and her boyfriend James, an aspiring doctor, communicate via video chat about a strange bump on her arm and how it reminds her of an accident she had when she was younger.
Also, my arm's been really bothering me. It's like I bruised it or something, but I don't remember how.
After showing James around her new apartment, Emily hears noises outside her door. A ghostly, childlike entity rushes into her room and slams the door shut, leading her to believe her apartment is indeed haunted.
Emily!
During her next chat with James, Emily attempts to cut into the bump on her arm to find out what it is.
Emily, what the fuck is that? Don't do that.
The fourth tape goes to places that you will not expect. I think it's got a great presentation all on the computer screen, kind of like Unfriended. It's very scary and unexpected, a lot of jump scares and loud noises. Very out there plot that'll make you say, what? And all of the acting is very good, and I think it is probably one of my favorite tapes of the first film. Once again back in the wraparound, both the corpse and the viewer are gone, leaving one criminal left. He begins to frantically search upstairs as he's scared. He's alone. He finds the decapitated remains of his friend and is attacked by the zombified old man. He flees back downstairs, falling and twisting his ankle, and is quickly killed by the old man. In the TV room, the VCR starts the last tape by itself. In the final tape of the film, it takes place on Halloween night, 1998. 4 friends, Tyler, Chad, Matt, and Paul, head out to a Halloween party but come to the wrong address. Believing that, by luck, they're the first to arrive to the party and they need to begin setting up, the quartet sneaks inside. They begin to experience paranormal phenomena but believe that they are at a haunted house attraction and have fun with it. In the attic, they come upon several men gathered around a woman suspended from the rafters, apparently reenacting an exorcism.
Cast him down! Cast him down! Cast him down!
The boys join in the men's chant, which alerts the men to their presence. The men shout angrily before physically assaulting the woman, telling the boys to leave, that it is not safe. And some of them are pulled, in that moment, into the darkness by an unseen force. As more violent paranormal phenomena occur, the boys initially flee, but can't live with themselves without going back for the poor girl, so they head back to try to rescue her. Now this final tape by Radio Silence is presented from the main character who's dressed as a teddy bear nanny cam, so he has the webcam taped to his forehead. And essentially they travel to the wrong house, they're trying to go to a party, and I won't get into spoilers that much about what happened, and it's basically them trying to get out of the house, doing what they can to survive as shit starts to fall around them. It has some iffy digital effects sometimes, but overall its presentation's very great, and it holds up very well, very spooky, with a lot of cool scenes and moments that'll keep you coming back. So yeah, that is VHS, one of my favorite found footage films of all time, and a series with actually many more entries after this one that maybe I'll get to in the future. All varying degrees of quality, but all pretty watchable and fairly entertaining. My favorite is probably the second film, VHS 2. But anyways, back to VHS. I told you guys I would discuss my favorite and my least favorite segments from the film. My favorite tape of the film is probably Tape 1, Amateur Night by David Bruckner, about the siren. It's insanely well done with the glasses cam and the slow build-up of what was seemingly an innocuous normal night into something terrifying. I think all the acting is spectacular and all the visual effects are great. I think all of the gore is terrifying, and the atmosphere in that hotel room as things go wrong is just very, very palpable. And yeah, it's probably my favorite segment of the film. My least favorite segment of the film is tape number 3, Tuesday the 17th. This is a film that comes off as more comedic and amateur in its presentation, with a very loose story and kind of bad digital effects all throughout it. Some good gore effects. I think the acting is actually very weak. I think the ending is nonsensical, doesn't really have an explanation or a good story that draws you in. And I think it's a boring location just in the woods. And yeah, that would have to be my least favorite segment of VHS. Well guys, that's all I had for today. I hope you enjoyed my video analysis and discussion of VHS. It's one of my favorite film series of all time, so I would definitely check it out when you get a chance. And hopefully, if this video gets enough traction, I will make a part 2 with VHS 2. So, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. Have a great day.
And do not end up on a VHS tape, whatever you do. Try to avoid ending up on a VHS tape.